The trend of people contributing money for a great cause in Nigeria, like politics, we saw how people contributed money for Peter Obi's candidature in Labour Party, and later we are hearing stories of how the funds were mismanaged. They were pointing fingers at each other. Now again, we are hearing that money contributed during NSAS coordinators shared millions of naira. This is, I don't understand. Like, we are fighting against a corrupt government. We are saying that the government is bad. We have bad leaders. And then you're being given just a little opportunity to prove yourself. And then you also do the same thing you are fighting against. Does that even make sense? You are doing the same thing that you are fighting against. Beneficiary exposes how NSAS coordinators shared millions received from Lagos government. Ordinarily, I do not even usually trust all these people that just come out to champion causes, say that they want to protest. Most often times, these people usually have ulterior motives. Let's just be factual and honest. Is it that they are politically motivated, or they are just driven by money, or somebody somewhere just said, okay, let me finance you people go and start protesting against the government? It's either of the two. And in most cases, when it happens like this, the protests does not usually have any effect. The only time protests that has no ulterior motive, nothing like that, usually have effect is when people actually come together organically without any political affiliations or nothing to protest against the government and say that this is what we want and this is what we want the government to provide for us. You can imagine, hard-earned money of people, millions of naira, getting embezzled by NSAS coordinators. Like, why? Why? Tomorrow now you still come out. Okay, today protest is even ongoing, October 1st. I don't even know what the updates are on that protest, but I shall be bringing you updates on that very soon. But this is very soon now, Nigerians will start having trust issues. If we cannot even trust coordinators of protests like this, you're asking people to risk their lives. You're asking people. There are some protesters that are still in prison that are held for felony, that are being accused of being terrorists. They are still in prison as we speak. And these are the same coordinators. The coordinators they are free. They are not in prison. Or the people who coordinated this protest, they are working freely. And meanwhile, the people that they gathered together for this protest, some of them are still in prison as we speak. It's just so unfair. It's just so unfair. We shouldn't be doing the same thing that we are fighting against. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe, like this video, leave your opinions in the comment section as well. A social media user, Princess Banke Oniru, has come forward with explosive claims regarding the distribution of funds received by NSAS protest coordinators from the Lagos state government. In a series of tweets on Sunday, Oniru revealed that millions of naira, which were allegedly offered by the government to support the protest, were shared among the protest's key coordinators. According to Oniru, while the Lagos state government initially faced resistance when offering financial support, the funds were eventually accepted and distributed. She described how she was initially hesitant to accept the money, fearing it would undermine the integrity of a protest. However, she later relented and instructed her assistants to collect the funds from a popular social commenter, Sarah Ibrahim, who was reportedly involved in the distribution process. Oniru, with tweets from the handle HRH Banke Oniru on X, wrote, "Following the NSAS unrest and during the panel of inquiry, the Lagos state government's initial funding offer was met with resistance. At Sarah Ibrahim and Associates then consulted Mr. Femi Falana regarding the substantial fund proposed for advisory purposes, despite Mr. Falano's counsel to accept the funds as a gift." How can Mr. Falano advise such that they should accept it as a gift? How can, hey God, I deemed it to accept financial compensation from those who were opposing, fearing it might undermine our integrity. No wonder Very Dark Man was dragging him the other day when his name came up with the Bobrisky issue. Why won't they drag him? Although Very Dark Man apologized yesterday at uh, National House of Representatives. The first fund Sarah called me to pick up was 1.5 million naira. Ha! The second was 1 million. I have proofs, messages to back it up. The NSAS coordinators shared millions of naira severally, going back and forth to pick a Ghana must go filled with cash at Alausa Ikeja. So people on the streets then protesting and doing all of that, we were just deceiving ourselves. We were just deceiving ourselves. Meanwhile, the coordinators of the protest have already sold them out. They have sold us out. They've sold millions of Nigerians out just for money in Ghana must go bags. You can imagine. People have no integrity these days. There is no integrity whatsoever. No integrity whatsoever. You are fighting against a cause. You are fighting that the government should put an end to NSAS. How do you hope to fight the same government you are collecting money from? How do you hope to fight? No integrity whatsoever. And these are the same people that will keep shouting, keep insulting Tinubu on social media, keep insulting politicians, that politicians are thieves. Whereas these same people, they are also thieves. On 2 separate occasions, I entrusted my personal assistant to collect money from Sarah, ensuring she took photographs for evidential purposes. Afterwards, I shared images of the funds received on NSAS United and compensated Nigerians platforms for public dissemination as giveaways. She was now using the money as giveaway. Adeshino Ademola Ogunmola of blessed memories was the only lawyer that stood genuinely for the NSAS. He can never be bought. But countering the claim, Ibrahim explained that Oniru displayed severe ingenuineness in our allegations, adding that though the Lagos state government reached out to her and offered 100 million naira, she never accepted the offer. Tweeting from Sarah Ibrahim in a lengthy post on X, said that after consulting her lawyers, she asked the government to use the funds in supporting Lekki Toll Gate victims, families, and those who are injured. She wrote, "So yes, I was reached by the Lagos state government to offer 100 million naira, a meeting they were trying to have for months, but I kept refusing because I was rightfully pissed at them. You were rightfully pissed, but at the end of the day, you accepted the money, because if you didn't accept it, how come you were able to give Oniru 1.5 million naira at first and then later another 1 million naira? You people should be truthful you should be truthful at least." Finally, I attended one of the meetings after speaking with my lawyer, Fushika-san, who then took me to also consult jointly with Falana-san on what to do. At one of the meetings I attended with Akin Tollgate, where one of Sanwo-Olu's commissioners apologized for what happened to the toll gate and wanted us to make amends. He spoke like a father, and he was nice and very understanding, and wanted us to make peace with the government and move on. Truthfully, his words calmed me. After all was said and blame passed back and forth, he stated there was a financial offer to us to cover for all we must have spent and gone through during the period, an amount of 100 million naira. Immediately I refused. I didn't want to involve myself with it, and I spoke with Aki, who agreed with my thought on it. I only requested that prosthetics be done for those who were amputated so that we can help them move around. She claimed that upon rejecting the monetary offer, she started getting calls from families and victims, and she had to change her stance. After all, I started getting calls from the victims. I was pissed. I went to the lawyers and told them what was happening. The government informed me that the money was in cash and it was to be given to me, that I should come and pick it up and do with it what I wish. So speaking to Falana San, he then said if the government is remorseful and wants to finally help those that were shot and killed at the toll gate, let me not block it, but allow it to happen. I told Falana, that I personally did not want anything to do with the money and did not want to go pick it up like the government wanted, and I wanted to stay out of it. And immediately, right there and then, wrote a letter for me and told me to give to the commissioner, stating that the government should do it the right way. The government stated that the money was in two ranches of 50 million naira each, and so there were two letters, one stating 50 million and another stating the total of 100 million. I insisted that the government should just give out the compensation as instructed by the panel, rather than these backyard assistants, like my dad called it. Meanwhile, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's spokesman, Gboyega Koshili, was yet to respond to a WhatsApp message on Monday morning seeking the government's reaction to the alleged funds paid to victims' families and protest coordinators. Why didn't the Lagos State government, why didn't they just give the family the check? Why didn't they just pay the money to the families of the affected victims? Why do it the backhanded way, backyard way, or is it backhanded way? Like, why? So, what's going on here? You all, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.